Hello students, today we are going to start our third chapter from your book First Flight, and the name of the chapter is Two Stories About Flying. There are two stories in this chapter. The first one is His First Flight by Liam O. Flaherty, and the second one is Black Aeroplane by Frederick Fawcett. So in this lecture we are going to learn about the first story, His First Flight by Liam O. Flaherty. So let us begin with the introduction of the story. The story by Liam O. Flaherty is an account of a young bird that is afraid to fly for the first time. He believes that his wings would not support him. Despite his younger siblings flying fearlessly with much shorter wings, he could not gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry if he did not try. Thus, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. The lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first step and that fear is all in the mind. One should trust one's abilities because the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. So, in the beginning of this chapter, the writer asks us a question that a young seagull is afraid to fly. How does he conquer his fear? To know this question's answer, that how he come out from his fear of flying, we have to go through this chapter. So let us begin the chapter. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. In these lines, seagull, it means a bird that lives near the sea and has short legs, long wings and white and grey feathers. Ledge, it means a cliff. Brink, it means the extreme edge of the land before a steep slope or a body of water. Expanse, it means a wide continuous area of something. In this line, a young seagull who is at the stage of life where he has to learn to fly. Unlike his younger brothers and sister, he is too afraid to fly. When all of them went for flying for the first time near the edge of the sea, all of them except him succeeded. He could not trust his wings. He got terrified by the vast sea and got convinced that he could never fly. As a result, he was ashamed and disheartened and thus went inside the ledge where usually he slept. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge, which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. In these lines, flapped, it means move up and down when flying or preparing to fly. Muster, it means gather, collect. Plunge, it means jump or dive. Shrilly, it means with a high pitch and piercing voice or sound. Upbraiding, it means scold. In this line, his younger siblings managed to take their first flight despite their wings being shorter than his, but he could not summon the courage, though he tried to desperately. He was scolded by his parents for not trying again, but he was so afraid that he could not even move. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it standing on a rock while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. In these lines, herring it means a soft finned sea fish, devour it means eat quickly, cackle it means laugh in a loud, harsh way, cowardice it means lack of bravery. Now he had been alone for a day after he tried because his parents were busy focusing on his siblings. They helped his siblings master the art of flying and diving for food or for fish. His older sibling even caught first fish, which he proudly ate at a rock while his parents celebrated it. That morning, his parents taunted him all the way for being a coward. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wings. He closed one eye then the other and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Here, ascending the sky, it means the act of rising up through the air. Preening it means to tidy and clean its feathers. Hump it means a rounded raised mass of earth or a land. Scrapped it means discard. Here the sun had now risen and he was feeling the heat more than ever because he was empty stomach since the night before. He stepped out of his ledge and pretended to sleep on one leg to gain the attention of his family. Still, no one noticed him. His siblings were sleeping, his father was cleaning his feathers with his beak, and his mother was standing on another plateau eating fish while she noticed him. The seagull got mad on seeing the fish because he was very hungry. He loved to tear away fish and scrape his beak now and then. Now next paragraph. Ga, ga, ga. He cried, begging her to bring him some food. Gaw, kol, ah. She screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively. And after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. In these lines, derisively it means in a manner expressing contempt or ridicule. Plaintively it means sad. Uttered it means make a sound with one's voice. Halted it means stopped. In these lines, he cried in hunger to his mom while his mother screamed back angrily, but he kept crying, which soon turned into a joyful scream at the sight of his mother flying towards him with the piece of fish. He got excited as she came nearer and thus leaned forward. Suddenly, she stopped not too far from him. Out of excitement and hunger, he dived at the fish without realizing for a moment that he was afraid to fly. Now, next line. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wing. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Ga 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 gav kol a. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over his screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. In these lines, monstrous it means horrible, seized it means grab, headlong it means with the head foremost, soaring it means flying, swooped it means move rapidly downwards through the air, curveting it means perform a series of jumps on the hind legs. In these lines, he got so excited that he fell as soon as he tried. For a moment he was in shock and stood still out of terror. All this lasted only for a moment and soon his feathers opened as he flied. He could feel the wind against his breast feathers, stomach and his wings. He could feel himself cutting through the air. He was not afraid anymore. He was just a bit nervous, but then his mother accompanied him. The whole family screamed out of excitement, thus celebrating his victory over fear. Now, next lines. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commanded himself to dive and soar and curve and shrieking shrilly. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. Here shrieking it means making a high-pitched piercing cry or a sound, high-pitched sound. Shrilly it means loudly and forcefully. Ridges it means a long narrow hilltop or a mountain. Cawed here it means utter a cow sound. In these lines, once he overcame his fear, he forgot that he was once afraid of it. He did all those things he once feared. He flied straight over the sea and could see the greenery and the mountains beneath him. He screamed out of the joy as he enjoyed the victory. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on his green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger and he could not rise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight. Here, beckoning, it means gesture. When a seagull landed, his family landed along with him as a gesture that they were proud. They were screaming and shouting in excitement in their high-pitched voices. He then went into the sea, where at first he got scared and thus panicked. He tried escaping but got tired and weak because of hunger. Thus, when he calmed down, he started floating in the sea he was once afraid of. His family was celebrating in excitement and offered him food as praise. Finally, he had overcome his fear and had made his first flight. So at the end, that seagull overcome his fear and he made it, he did it. So our first part of this chapter is completed over here. Thank you.